Hey y'all, it's John with New York Metro Weather. Hope you guys are doing well, having a great Friday. Starting off, checking out the latest radar where we see light rain and drizzle spreading across eastern PA into New Jersey. Most of the snow at the moment up here in northeast PA and northwest New Jersey. You can see this sort of miserable cold rain overspreading the New York City Metro as we head around 4 or 5 o'clock here this afternoon. This is expected to continue for a while. The models have warmed up a little bit this afternoon and evening. And so as we head through the early part of tonight, this is valid at 8 o'clock p.m., the majority of model guidance suggests that we'll still be seeing rain in the New York City metro area. You can see that cold air starting to work in the interior and higher elevations. It's really just the higher elevations of northwest New Jersey, northeast PA, and southeast New York where we really see that snow coming in. During the early morning hours, though, once this first batch of miserable cold rain gets out of here, we'll see this second wave come down, and that's when we are expecting to see the transition back over to snow. The models cool things down and change things over to snow in the New York City Metro during the very early morning hours, likely going to oscillate back and forth between a rain-snow mix, and the core of that actual accumulating snowfall is going to be in the interior here in parts of North Jersey, southeast New York, and Connecticut. It's a really borderline event here. Temperature-wise, even as we look during this time, we're in the mid-30s or so a lot of this stuff is not really going to be sticking. Model guidance suggests we're likely looking right within that range of a trace to 2 inches that we've been harping on for a couple days here in the New York City Metro itself. As you head further north and west into those higher elevation areas of New Jersey, you could be looking at the possibility of 3 to 6 inches, but this looks a little generous to me. I think we'll likely end up lower than that even there. As you get into the real high elevations here in southeast New York, you're probably solidly looking at 3 to 6 inches. And again, it all comes down to the temperatures, right? It's much cooler up there for a majority of the storm, and you can see that here. The model guidance suggesting that snow will be steadier up in those regions. So here in New York City, we're likely looking at a little bit of a mess here tonight. A very cold rain and then a switch over to a wintry mix and snow before this event wraps up. Saturday, you can see the models finally move all of this out of here by around noon on Saturday, with the system heading out of our way and improving conditions Saturday evening after another light and generally sloppy snowfall during that time frame. We'll then turn our attention to another storm system for early next week, and this one comes in a little more vigorously from the central United States towards the East Coast. You see the models here strengthening this storm substantially as it moves off the coast of New Jersey, Long Island, and towards Nantucket and Martha's Vineyard late Monday night into Tuesday. So zooming in and looking at what that looks like from New England standpoint, the European model in particular suggests this could be an impactful system for many areas, mostly in New England in terms of winter weather, but some of that could arc back towards the New York City metro area as well, including parts of northern New Jersey, southeast New York, and Connecticut and Long Island as well, especially with this kind of track of this low pressure, right? You see how the model curls it in towards the coast? That's really impactful, and this storm deepens significantly. We're down to about 979 millibars here on the European model. So a very, very deep signal low pressure system. Checking out the GFS just for comparison. So that was the European. Here's the American model. Sort of the same idea, right? That low pressure curls back in towards our area. GFS is a little warmer. The majority of the snow is up here in New England. And truth be told, the air mass that's in place ahead of this one still isn't great. I mean, we've had this issue all winter long, and it's not going to change in mid-March. It's just that we haven't had that cold air around with enough consistency to really look at big-time snowstorms. This is a track that typically would be great for winter weather in New York. But the fact that we're already in mid-March, the sun angle is a little bit different this time of year, and then we also just have a sort of a stale air mass in place here. It doesn't do us any favors in terms of snow potential here in New York. So expectations from winter weather, that part of the forecast in New York are pretty low at the moment, but this still could be a high impact storm in terms of rain, coastal flooding, wind. There's a lot that we have to unpack here with this system from Monday into Tuesday. One of the main uncertainties is in regards to the track. If we look at the European, let's check out the ensembles. So the way to think about ensembles is the European and GFS are just their own individual weather models. But underneath those models, they also run ensembles. So the European is actually run 51 times underneath. It's the one run that you see everywhere on Twitter and on the news. And the reason that they do this is because each of the members will offer a little bit of a different solution. And it gives us an idea as to what the spread of possible solutions really is. Instead of just looking at one run, we can look at 50 different members take the mean of that and look at the individual members to get an idea to what the envelope might be. So the first thing that catches your eye here Monday night, look at the spread in possible locations of our storm. One of them is close to the coast of New Jersey, and then you have another one down here towards Bermuda. And the point of this all is to say, I think there's quite a bit of spread in possibilities during this time frame. That's the main thing. There's quite a bit of sort of spread here among the models in where this low pressure could be Monday night. And even if you get into Tuesday morning, I mean, some of them are over Hartford, Connecticut, and the other ones are way out to sea. So there's a lot that's still to be determined with this storm, and where exactly it tracks, whether it's close inland to the coast or out to the north and east, that's going to determine what impacts we see here in the New York City metro area. But even taking a blend, it's likely looking stormy and unsettled Monday night into Tuesday. Rain possibly and probably eventually changing over to a wintry mix. If you're in the northern suburbs, again, from northern Jersey into southeast New York, Connecticut, and into New England, the higher elevations in New England, this is looking more and more like a very impactful winter storm. If you're in the New York City metro, the jury is still out on exactly how this is going to impact us. At the very minimum, we're likely looking at rain, some coastal flooding, and gusty winds. And in the most extreme scenario, we're probably looking at a changeover to snow and the possibility of accumulating snow as well. So we're going to have to pick this one apart over the weekend. We'll be tracking it with you all the way. At the moment, we're not explicitly expecting big-time accumulating snow in New York, but we are expecting an impactful storm, and the possibility of snowfall does exist. So we're going to be watching it all weekend long. We'll be back with an update tomorrow on how this all goes, and obviously throughout the night tonight with the ongoing rain and snow transition. If you guys have any questions, give us a shout, and thank you as always for taking the time to watch our videos and check out our content. Have a great night, guys.